Well, the two candidates will take center stage next week in Cleveland at the Republican National Convention. It kicks off on Monday. Security still a major concern for the city, with hundreds of thousands of people all gathering to support and protest at that event. NBC4's Ted Hart live in Cleveland tonight with more on the security plans. Ted?
Well, Mike, first of all, I'll say that the hotels are all sold out. The restaurants are booked solid through the week. It's just now really the finishing touches that are going on here in Cleveland in anticipation of the arrival of all of the conventioneers, the protesters, and the media spotlight. The inside of the arena has been transformed from the wine and gold of the Cleveland Cavaliers to the red, white, and blue. Outside, the signs of a massive security plan are evident, from dogs and horses to robots and miles of fencing. And even today, the security plans are getting tweaked.
You look at the events that took place yesterday in Nice, last week in Dallas, last month in Orlando. It gives us reason to take another look at our security planning.
There will be close to 3,000 police officers here, including officers from Columbus and 70 other police agencies around the country.
I know people are coming in town to protest, but I think it's going to be okay.
In fact, thousands of protesters are expected for, in some cases, large organized protests and in others, smaller pop-up protests.
I think we're all a little trepidatious. I'm not concerned. I think our police are super competent.
The FBI has said it is not aware of any credible threats, but it is concerned about a lone wolf terrorist or homegrown extremists. An electronic highway sign tells visitors to call the FBI if they see something suspicious.
And that's really an indictment on the world that we live in, that we have to plan for things like an active shooter or a bomb threat. We have to be prepared for that type of stuff, and we are.
And Clevelanders see this as a moment for the city to really shine. And coming up at 6, we'll tell you what all is being done to roll out the red carpet. In Cleveland, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Thank you, Ted. NBC4, we will have complete and full coverage of the Republican National Convention. We invite you to tune in bright and early Monday morning. Your fresh start begins at 4:26 with live reports from Cleveland.
Another big event in our state next week, the NAACP National Convention. That's being held in Cincinnati. Ohio Governor John Kasich plans to speak at that convention instead of the Republican National Convention. Kasich will speak in Cincinnati on Sunday, and even though he will be in Cleveland for the convention later in the week, he isn't speaking. Kasich has declined to endorse Donald Trump. Presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton speaks Monday at the NAACP. Clinton joins a long line of presidential candidates, both Democrats and Republicans, who have spoken to the annual gathering, including President Obama. The convention runs from July 16th through the 20th. That's at Duke Energy Center. And the Democratic National Convention is scheduled for July 25th through the 28th. That's in Philly. The organization announced the headline speakers. They include the President, First Lady, Bernie Sanders, and Clinton's husband and 42nd President, Bill Clinton.